Family Guy has always been something of a controversial show, and part of its popularity has been its willingness to tell the jokes no one else will. But sometimes, even Family Guy goes too far and makes jokes creepy, disturbing, and downright wrong. Before we get started, be sure to click that subscribe button and hit that little bell to stay up to date with everything Screen Rant.
He's wearing a wire!
Turban Cowboy. Family Guy tried going for the hat trick of controversial moments with this episode that was set to air in 2013. In it, Peter Griffin becomes a terrorist, and the writers really push the envelope as to what they can say on a primetime animated broadcast. In the episode, Peter drives his car through the Boston Marathon, weeks before the real-life marathon bombing tragedy took place. The episode was ultimately pulled due to the timing later. The episode also has a lot of post-9/11 jabs. The moment where Peter's skin tone is inspected on a threat level with the darker tones being deemed not okay is shocking even today.
Okay, it's not my shirt.
The one with Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox has unfortunately been suffering from Parkinson's disease for decades now. One of the biggest symptoms of the disease is the uncontrollable shaking that happens, and while this topic may be off limits for most shows, it's definitely something Family Guy would make fun of. In this episode, Peter randomly ends up explaining the diseases and the scene itself, which was supposed to be unaired. The show then cuts to the scene, and Fox is holding a tray of wine and spills it all over Peter, who argues his shirt is ruined thanks to Michael's shaky body.
You have AIDS.
Yes, you have AIDS.
Not HIV, but full-blown AIDS.
Barbershop Quartet. The quartet in question is actually a quintet, but regardless of the numbers, Peter thought it'd be a good idea to pass bad news over to individuals through the use of song. Which is exactly what he did in the episode The Cleveland Loretta Quagmire. In it, he joined a barbershop quartet and went to the hospital to deliver some bad news. Dr. Hartman was about to inform the patient of the diagnosis, but called in Peter and the quartet to sing the news, which was done via a cheery, happy melody called You Got AIDS to the poor man.
I have you.
The one that got banned. Ironically, the first banned episode was titled When You Wish Upon a Weinstein, and has nothing to do with the fallen Hollywood producer who was accused and found guilty of various assaults on women. But this episode was pulled from the air for fear of being too anti-Semitic. Peter prays to God in this episode for a Jewish savior and is granted a new Jewish friend. What follows is tons of humor making fun of the Jewish faith, including the surprise reveal that Optimus Prime from the Transformers is in fact of the Jewish faith. All things considered, it wasn't that offensive, but Fox didn't want to chance it and pulled it from being the season 3 finale. The other one that got banned. This episode actually got banned for real though, and only got released on DVD as a special. The episode in question was called Partial Terms of Endearment, and it was one of the most political shows Family Guy had aired to date, which caused Fox to yank it from the network. In it, Lois becomes a surrogate mother for a couple, who then quickly die in a car crash after the procedure. Lois must then face the question of keeping the baby or not, but the revelation comes with the hard and sudden reveal with Peter stating, "We had the abortion," before cutting to black, ending the episode.
Prom night dumpster baby, I got no mom or dad.
Prom Night Dumpster Baby. This episode was actually inspired by real events, which saw a young woman give birth to her baby on prom night, only to leave said baby in a dumpster in order to return to the dance. The writers of Family Guy couldn't pass up such a ridiculous story and brought it to Family Guy, albeit with their own touch. The baby in question ends up breaking into a dance and singing number, complete with other babies swinging on umbilical cords. The baby states he misses his mom, who's too busy dancing to care for him, and that his short life is nothing but awful so far.
Let's give Tammy a round of applause. This was her first robbery, and she was very brave.
The Kennedys. You know it's a shocking moment when Seth MacFarlane himself thinks it went too far. And there is rarely a moment that Seth thinks is too far. In the episode A Hero Sits Next Door, which dates back to season 1, things get horrifyingly insensitive. In it, a sniper bullet misses its mark by a long shot and ends up blowing the top off a Pez dispenser in a kid's hand. The personality on the Pez was none other than the late President John F. Kennedy. The boy is sad but reaches into his pocket to pull out another Pez, which has the likeness of Bobby Kennedy, who was also assassinated a few years after his brother.
How you girls doing on popcorn?
I'll take some.
Jackpot. This particular entry deals with Quagmire, so you know there's going to be something scandalous at play. While he isn't nearly as bad nowadays, Quagmire got his start as basically being a sexual predator on the show, and it was extremely uncomfortable. In one episode in the 3rd season, he goes to a bathroom and finds a bound and gagged teenage cheerleader in the stall. Instead of helping her out, he actually states, "Dear Diary, jackpot," to himself while smiling. How did this air? The whole thing is extremely unsettling and one of Quagmire's creepiest moments.
Now I want more.
Herbert's background. Dr. Herbert has been known for years as being the creepy old guy on the show, who is a self-proclaimed pedophile and openly courts boys, including Chris Griffin. It's naturally a little unsettling, even if it is done in the name of humor, but it doesn't stop there. In the episode German Guy, it was revealed Herbert was a prisoner of war during the Second World War. His captor, a Nazi named Franz, arrives in Quahog and actually ends up befriending Chris, which causes Herbert to be jealous of the fact that a Nazi is stealing his pedophilic shine. Yikes.
Oh my God.
Bill Cosby. The Cosby Scandal will go down as one of the darkest moments in modern Hollywood history. But that hasn't stopped Seth MacFarlane from using the touchy subject as material for his show. In the episode Peter's Sister, the family watches a show that's announced as The Cosby Show, Knowing What We Know Now. The segment repurposes old sitcom intros and has Cosby visibly drugging various women, leaving them unconscious, which is exactly what Cosby was accused and ultimately convicted of doing, and then some. In typical Family Guy fashion, though, just making fun of the horror isn't enough. As Peter comments, he was so transfixed by not seeing color that he didn't see anything else that was going on.
Oh, sorry.
That's it for now, everyone. What moment from Family Guy do you think was a bit too much? Have you ever been offended by a Family Guy joke? Should the show continue to push the boundaries? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your playlist every day. Thanks for watching.